I'm Captain Ed Zyak, a longtime veteran light tackle guide on the east coast of Florida. And I've traveled really all around the country over the years fishing and spending a good bit of time in Texas. I also do the marketing and PR for DOA fishing lures. And through that relationship, I met the guys at Chasin The Sun, which turned out to be a really awesome relationship because that's how I landed out here doing some whitetail hunting in Texas. So one thing that was funny is, being from South Florida, we don't get a lot of big bucks. And so the first couple days on the ranch, I was hard at work, tending those feeders and getting with the program, so to speak. Our first sit was super exciting. I was with my friend Jamie and we were in the blind, and he's doing something on his phone, and I see a monster coming out of the brush, and I said, all right, we're gonna wrap this up early. I said, here we go, get ready. And he barely glanced up from his phone and, kind of was like, yeah, it's all right. So once that initial shock wore over, I got to spend a lot of time out there really looking and studying. And I gotta tell you, I learned so much this week and a half out here of really aging a deer, how to judge, when a deer is maybe ready to go. Pretty eye-opening. About the third afternoon that I set, a monster drop tine buck walked in, and then an even bigger deer came in, and we watched him for a long time. He was kind of around the feeder, minding his business. The drop tine buck was working around the outside. You could really see the size difference of that mature deer, even though he was only I think a 7 or 8 point. Compared to the drop tine, once I saw them head to head, I realized that buck was really, really a big deer. So they locked up a little bit, things got exciting, then they both took off. And, I was a little bit nervous, I gotta be honest, because I didn't know what was gonna happen. And then the drop tine came back out, and, the bigger buck just hadn't walked back out yet. And then I caught a glimpse of him just right on the edge, and he finally took a couple steps.
Shoulder and break him down. Did you see that? That was amazing. We sat there and we watched both those bucks for a long time. I thought he was gone when he ran back in those woods. That was one of the most exciting hunts I've been on. He was in that pen forever. Oh, that was awesome.
My adrenaline had kind of maybe subsided a little bit until I pulled the trigger. Then I was like over the top ecstatic. I couldn't wait to get down there and see this deer. Wow, that is awesome. What a great hunt. Man, we watched this deer for over an hour. We watched this deer. Then he had another buck come in. They finally locked up. It was a pretty cool little battle. Then he disappeared. And I wasn't sure what was gonna happen. I was totally surprised when he stepped back out. Man, I'm so excited, this is amazing.
As a full-time fishing guide in Florida and host of Chasin The Sun TV on Discovery Channel, I spend almost 300 plus days a year on the water. I don't get too many days to break free and get in the woods. Normally when I do get to break free, I'm at home in our piney woods in Florida chasing the same animals, they're just a little smaller deer. I've heard about these deer in South Texas my whole life. So the first opportunity that I got to come out here and see Jamie and Josh's ranch, I wasn't gonna pass that up. So I had to rearrange a few things, but hey, I jumped in the truck with Jamie. We drove straight through all the way here to South Texas now, and I'm glad I did because it looks like it's gonna be a fun hunt. So I always hear this on hunting shows, and I always think it's just something that they fabricate, but it's the last morning of the hunt. How many times have you heard that? Well, today literally is the last day of the hunt. And you know, we made a decision last night to hunt this stand, and by we, I was just listening to Jamie. And he said he had seen a lot of does in this stand called Oatfield. And he said, look, if you find the does, you're gonna find the bucks. And I thought, all right, I'm gonna go with, you know, they have a lot of experience out here and I don't. So I'm gonna go with what they say. So we crawl in this Oatfield stand, and almost immediately this morning, does start piling into the field. Well, right after them, here comes a buck. And I thought, all right, Jamie might have some idea what's going on here. Another buck comes walking in. And that buck is a little bigger bodied deer, and obviously more mature deer. It was hard for me to keep it together, but I got settled in, got comfy. We got this nice rack buck come in, and I'm just super excited. I'm thinking he's a shooter. You know, I'm thinking, man, last day of the hunt, I can't believe this is all gonna come together.
Okay, you tell me if you're ready.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You talk about you talk about pulling it down to the last second. We've been out here in South Texas for 5 days. We've hunted every morning, every afternoon. Biggest buck of my life. Right there. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. I tell you what, I spent a lot of time in the outdoors, and there is no rush better than that. You got me kidding me, he just dropped like a bag of potatoes right there. Oh my gosh. What an animal. That is, I mean, look at the neck on this deer. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I mean, these brow tines are like an inch thick. I've never seen a whitetail with a body like this. So this is what they call management deer out here. It's what we call trophies. But I tell you what, you think this is staged? This big and J right here, and that's where this deer fell. This is where I shot him at right here. It worked. But anyways, this is an old mature deer out here. You know, it doesn't have real great tine length. And so they want these deer out of their herd. And I'm happy to be the one that gets to come out here and help. And just as I walked up to that deer, you know, I could really tell the age of the deer. And although a lot of people out here would probably not consider that a trophy, to me it was definitely a trophy, and it is a trophy. This was my first time hunting with this Daniel Defense chambered in .308. And you talk about an amazing rifle. My kids shoot a rifle similar to this, and that caliber, that combination, just soft shooting. And obviously you'll see, I mean, this big buck, that big hog, just put them straight down. And you know, just couldn't ask for a better piece of equipment to come out here. You put the time and work in these guys do to manage these giant bucks, old mature deer out here. You know, you want to do them right and take them down as quickly and ethically as possible.